And we're live. Welcome to the Moonroad podcast. On today's episode, we have a special guest, Diogo, a 3D artist and co-founder of Soho Kids, a much anticipated NFT project on the Cardano Blockchain. Diogo, welcome.
Nice to meet you, Blue. What's up, family? It's nice to be here.
Nothing much, man. We talked a little bit prior and whatnot. So Diogo's a cool guy, you know. We just want to go over like his background, the Soul Kids project, and things like that. So, Diogo, if you can, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you began your journey as a 3D artist.
So yeah, I'm from Portugal. Um, I'm a 3D designer, 3D artist. Uh, like I got into art pretty late in my life. Because when I went to school and when I went to college, first year and second year, I did like science stuff, and I wasn't very into it, so I changed to like a design program. And when I got into it, I was not really sure uh what I wanted to do in design. Then I just went on Instagram and like saw some cool guys doing 3D stuff, and I was hooked and like started doing it until now. Yeah, it's been some years, like 5 years. Yeah, we out there doing 3D art, cool things.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. To be, in such a small amount of time and I've seen your work to get to that level of design skill. That's admirable. A lot of people start out really really young. At the level that I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing your art is at, and I'm not just saying this because I'm doing the podcast with you. I genuinely mean it. A lot of people
Yeah,
been do it for 20 years to get to this level. So kudos to you on that. My second
yeah. I guess when you really like what you do, you put your all into it. Just you develop really fast.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Um, how was Soul Kids formed, and the inspiration to bring fashion based art into the NFT space?
Um, I always been like a fashion guy, and the guy I'm doing the project with, the co-founder Roxy, is also a fashion guy. He's been involved in like some, how do you call the e-commerce, like Shopify and all that. He's been doing that for some time, and yeah, we've talked. We've known each other for a bit, and we talked. We were like, "Dude, you want to make a project?" And the Cardano space is like, "Yeah, let's do it." And the fashion just clicked, and yeah, we went from there, and it happened like this.
Yes,
It's very nice.
things, all great things. Most of the great things in life happen naturally. Um, all right, so why the Cardano blockchain?
So Oxy has been in the Cardano community for quite some time. I think I think he's like in Cardano NFTs pretty much from the beginning. Not that it's long ago, but yeah, still. And when we talked about making a project, it just felt right to do it in Cardano, because it told me that's a place where like genuine people talk, and you can have a conversation, and like a solid community. Yeah, I just said, yeah, that's fine for me. I like the people there. So I'm pretty new to the Cardano community, but I'm loving it. And yeah, also because from like a business point of view, he knows people there, so it's easier for us.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's a great community. Um, I've been, like I told you prior to us doing the podcast, I've invested in ADA for about a year now. Just really getting into the NFT space. very welcoming, warm community, and very it's growing. So there's that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so
Not to bash in other
oh yeah,
like
no,
spaces,
not to
but
bash other
if you
spaces. You know,
yeah, but if you go around like Solana or Ethereum, it just doesn't feel the same. It's you can make like some tweets asking for an opinion, and everybody just promptly there to help you, and that's the thing you don't see in other spaces. So that was a huge like a huge point for us to do the project there.
I agree. I agree. Great, great technology, great community, great ecosystem.
For sure.
So what does the future look like for Soho Kids as a project?
Yeah, we got a lot of plans. We'll release the roadmap for the project soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just want to be involved in fashion and involved in like the culture, youth culture. We want to throw a lot of parties. We want to do like have a clothing brand eventually.
Mm-hmm.
We just want we just want to make that bridge between like real life and the crypto space, because especially the fashion community and the streetwear community are people that are very into like collectibles. You can see it with the sneakers, the crazy like things people do for sneakers,
Mm-hmm.
and we just want to create like a subculture around our project where people can meet and like make some real cool things in fashion.
For sure.
That's basically our goals. Yeah.
For sure, man. And hey, like I said, I like the project. It's one of the most, from what I've seen, one of the most anticipated projects. In my personal opinion, one of the most promising projects. I think, and this is my personal opinion, that it is going to be one of the what do they call it? A blue chip project.
Yeah, yes.
Blue chip project. I didn't really know what that was. It's like an investing term or whatever. But I think it'll be a blue chip project, and I'm anticipating it just as much as everyone else is. And I will definitely get one the minute it comes out. Like the minute it comes out, I'm going to buy an NFT.
It's been crazy the support everybody like been giving us.
Yeah.
Like we on the first day we opened our Discord. It was like 1,000 people already. I was so overwhelmed with everybody. It was so cool, really. And I think that's the more important thing, like building like a solid community.
Yeah, man. It's a good. I see your art. I'm interested in it. So as speaking of community, how can people become a part of the community and get involved in the project?
No, it's not really that hard. You just have to show up to our Discord or Twitter and like meet the people around. We got like some spaces in Discord where you can share your fit pics, where you can talk about music, you can talk about anything you'd like, not just NFTs and crypto. People just have to connect with each other and be part of it. Eventually, we'd love to meet everybody in real life. That's basically the goal.
Yeah.
To know everybody.
And you guys could do that with the events. That's beautiful to know, because I've always thought, and hold on, let me take this keychain off. I don't want it to be in the recording, but like when I look at like projects, NFT projects, right? Like the skeptic in me, and even when I like speak with people that's kind of skeptical of the NFT space, one of their only like concerns, or I guess points, are like, how does this translate to real life? You know, what does this look like in the real world? And so when I look at projects, like I'm looking at in their roadmap, like, okay, are they going to at some point have an event or a meetup, or, you know, something that people can really sink their teeth into, like in the real world, you know?
Yeah, that's a valid preoccupation because uh, whether we are like apologists of like crypto and everything,
Yeah.
things still need to happen in the real world,
Mhm.
in the real world, because I mean, you can't be sitting on your computer all the time. It just won't make you happy in the long term. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, we need to translate things into the real world because otherwise you're just doomed to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like as far as like adoption is concerned, as far as crypto and NFT, I think more and more when we see these things being rolled out into the real world. I remember looking at an NFT, and in one of the roadmaps, one of the parts of the roadmap, they were saying like, hey, if you we're going to have real world events, and if you have the
Mm-hmm.
NFT with this specific thing, and whatnot and things like that. But
Yeah.
it made me think like, okay, that's perfect if we're looking at in terms of adoption, because a lot of, I would say, traditional legacy system type of people, their main argument is, hey, how is this translate to the real world? Like I was saying, and if they could see like, hey, no, look, this is real. We're doing an exhibition in New York City, or we're doing something in London where the people who own these NFTs, they are invited to this thing. People will say,
Yeah.
like, okay, let me
I want to be part of it. Yeah.
exactly, let me look into that. Let me give it a second chance. So, from the onset, just speaking to you, the fact that you said that you wanted to include events into the roadmap and into the story of the project, that's to me, that's beautiful. And I think one of them other things, like just outside of the art, outside of the community, one of them things that's just as far as like what you're thinking of the future of the roadmap, is one of them things that just sticks out to someone like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I told you, we our main goal is to build like an old culture, like subculture around our project. But and I usually don't mind projects not having utility, because like art is art,
Right.
and
Right.
if I'm totally cool with buying like a profile picture just for the
Yo,
art.
no, look, I would
But
say this likewise. I don't want to cut you off, but likewise, I do agree with that.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
sometimes art is just art. Like, I mean, and I hate to be this geek out, but like when Basquiat was making his paintings back in the day,
Yeah,
R.I.P. to Basquiat, he was he was throwing parties and whatnot, and he was he was a wild guy. He was and
it
yeah,
was. Yeah.
he was involved in a lot of different things, but
Yeah.
but he was throwing parties and whatnot. But then, and I wasn't alive when Picasso was alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm speculating, but when Picasso was alive, from what I've heard, he was just purely an artist. You're just gonna
And I think like a struggling one.
and a lot of these artists were struggling.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness. I
yeah,
don't know what that
yeah,
is, but that's what is it about struggling and being an artist? I don't understand.
yeah,
I
yeah.
see it everywhere. It's like, yo, what is that?
People kind of like romanticize it
Yeah.
to a point where it's not healthy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think it's over romanticized. Like,
yeah,
oh, if you're not struggling or suffering, then you're not a real
you're
artist.
not a
It's
real
like, what?
art.
Just okay, so I'm not suffering, so my art doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah,
but but yeah, so my point was so like you see someone like Basquiat, then you have a person like Picasso who, he wasn't really into the event subculture alternative space or even doing events.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there is space for both of that to exist, because if I could,
Exactly.
I would own a Basquiat. If I was a person back when Basquiat was living, I would own one of his paintings and go to one of his events. Now, if I had enough money living right now, I would buy a Picasso painting and don't care about going to an event as long
For
as it's
sure.
just sitting up in my living room somewhere. So,
Exactly.
so yeah, it's not like these things have to, these are not what we're talking about right now on the podcast. These are things that they don't have to be stone hedged things like, oh, you have to do it this way. You don't have to do it anyway.
Yeah,
You do it how
yeah.
you want to do it.
And you see the most like successful projects, like the Bored Apes, the Doodles, the Punks. They're projects that they didn't really have like a roadmap,
Yeah.
and the the community kind of built it itself, um, and that's why they are so strong and so solid in the crypto space. And just, yeah, I think that's what we're going for. I think we'll let the community speak for itself, and and hopefully it will work.
Yeah, and
Like,
it will. And that's the beautiful thing about the crypto space, because it's very, very contingent upon community. And I told my friend this the other day. I'm like, he's like, why are you like so into NFTs and into crypto? I'm like, I don't know. It's something about this space and the specific technology blockchain that that it literally incentivizes not only the creator but the consumer of the creation to have a community based
Yeah.
mindset, and
Yeah.
like if you look at crypto and the blockchain, the ecosystem is usually not in the roadmap of these of the blockchain. The ecosystem comes by way of the people themselves. And I would look at something like an event or any other idea that you guys have being a part of the ecosystem of Soho Kids NFT that, can come by strongly by way of the community itself, because if there's a high demand for, let's say, a faction of your community that's in LA to say, hey, let's do an LA event, it may come about. So,
Sure.
So I look at it like, I look at it as far as like the community side. That's one of the main, key things that I look at as when it comes to a project. And I don't want to be long winded, but like I was saying, that's one of the things that like attracted me to the project. Like you said, like, the first launch coming in, the Discord coming in at 1,000, the Twitter, the positive reception. I look at that as, okay, this is
And
go ahead.
it's crazy because we are from Portugal. Oxy is also from Portugal, and it's so crazy like seeing people from all over. Like, we made a poll on our Discord asking like, where are you from? And there are so many people from America, and it's fun because there's so many people from New York and so specifically, and it's just so crazy that we have an opportunity to someday meet people like across the world, like go to New York and just meet all these guys that have been supporting us like from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I know, just feels different than other places, like, and maybe like the fact that subcultures are a bit dead now.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Because in the early 2000s, you used to see like a lot of subcultures. Like, there was the skater boys, the emos, the goths, you name it, name it. You just don't see it now. It feels like everybody's mixed, and I don't know. And I just want that feeling back of being part of something,
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you. I know exactly what you're saying. Like when I was in high school, it was like you had like jerkers, skateboarders, you had the emo, the goth kids, you had these things, and it was more so more colorful. The world, it felt more colorful. Yeah. Now it kind of seems as though that everyone is in this this box and everyone is painted with the same shade of color.
Exactly.
So bro, like I'm like a low key philosopher. So what you're saying to me is like, and I'm being serious. So I'm like, what you're saying to me, I understand it so much, and this is why I wanted to have you on, because is like what you're saying. I seen it in the art. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying to me, I seen it in your art when I looked at your when I looked at your work.
I just wanted people to look at it and be like, I want to be part of it, and I want to meet the other people that are also part of it, and and that's what felt like was logic for me, because I've been craving something to be part of, like on a physical level.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because I've not been part of like anything like special,
Yeah.
and you get like thrown all those nostalgic like videos, and you go on the web and search for everything. You feel like, I feel like I'm out of place, and I just wanted to make this project like to engage with someone
Yeah.
I can connect with, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And hey man, likewise. So we can wrap it up with that. I think that was a perfect way to wrap it up.
Sure.
Soho Kids, the NFT. You guys said you have a Discord and a Twitter. Can you? And I know that the audience you do have. They already know these things. But for the people that don't know, what's the Twitter handle for the Soho Kids project?
Yeah, you can find it at So Kids NFT on Twitter, and you got the Discord link there.
Okay, cool. All right.
Feel free.
Okay, Diogo. Well, thank you for coming on Moonroad podcast. You are my first guest interview. This is my first time doing an interview, so
That's nice.
so if I sounded like a novice, guys, this is my first time actually interviewing someone or having them on a podcast. But you have been great, Diogo.
It's my first time being interviewed, so
Okay,
if I sound like a novice, that's because I am.
All right, we're on the same page. He said that's because I am.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the same page then. So I'm going to end it. I appreciate talking to you. As soon as I end this,
Nice to
I'm going to
meet
go
you.
over to the Discord and we can chat from there.
For sure, for sure.
All right, Diogo. See you, man.
See you.
All right.